Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Katie.
This is Kara Compares, and today we're coming back with another
Board game?
New board game. Oh yeah, did you do any research on the board game now that I think about it?
Very little.
Very little.
I couldn't find a lot, so...
What is our board game today?
It is called Mlem Space Agency. I think for a second because I keep thinking of it from its kind of like Polish or German. Which is Astro Katzen.
Which is a fantastic name. Honestly, I kind of wish I kept that name instead.
Yeah.
But this is Mlem Space Agency.
See, it's hard.
Yeah. Where you... Oh, I realize that the front doesn't match the back. This is the backup part. Anyway.
Oh.
Where you play... You're the commander of a space department.
That's made up of cats.
That is, in fact, made up of cats. Okay. So.
It is published by Rebel Studio.
Okay.
Which is a board game publishing company based out of Poland.
Oh, it's really out of Poland?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I couldn't find too much about like how long they've been a company or anything like that, but they do have a good amount of board games that they have that they offer, and I think a good amount of them are also family friendly. So like this one, I think is for ages 6 and up or 8.
I don't see any like really details about like how many players. So here it is.
Yeah.
That's for 2 to 5 players, ages 8+. Takes 30 to 60 minutes. And it's not just probably like 8+ because of, I mean, it's also for like how small the pieces are, but also because it's actually not that complicated, and we'll get into that.
So I think, that it's definitely something that you would potentially be able to play with your family if you wanted to do that.
But the game itself, created, I guess, mechanically, because there's a little mechanical symbol here, by Rainier Nizia and art by Joanna, I'm not even trying to pronounce that, Respect, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, I think
art
that's
is fantastic.
Actually right.
Okay, so, in the game, you get a whole bunch of cardboard pieces, as you do in a lot of more modern games, including your player boards, of which there are 5, yellow, black or gray, I guess.
I think that's gray.
Green, blue, pink.
Yes.
You also have your points counters, 1, 3, 5, 10 points. You've got your main rocket ship here. You got your little tokens here that you need, 6 dice, and then actually, and this is the exciting part, all of this stuff is completely optional, and you don't actually, they recommend you not use it for your first playthrough, so we actually didn't use it for our first playthrough.
Yes.
Which is super exciting. And then also you have, of course, the cosmic map, which is...
It feels nice.
It's nice. It's a thick, heavy mat with a good grip on the side. It's really nice. It kind of reminds
me of a Firefly shiny dice.
Yes.
Kind of a map.
Yeah.
But I think I like this one better.
No, I do like this one a lot better.
It has a better quality to it.
Yeah, no, this is a really nice quality. Honestly, I think stepping away from folding cardboard maps into like this is fine. I would pay for this. This is totally worth it. So it feels more durable. It's easier to store. I love this. Quality of the pieces. I mean, these are pretty solid cardboard pieces.
They were easy to punch out of.
Actually, they were really easy to punch out. That's true. Yeah.
Whatever you call it.
Whatever. Yeah, there's a word for what that
there is. But yeah. I don't remember what it's called.
But, okay. On to the rules. Roll out your mat. Choose your cat. I did not mean for that to rhyme, but it does.
Yeah.
Trying to find another word to rhyme it now.
Unfortunately, they don't have names, so we just made up names.
What was your names? Your name for that?
So my little chef cat, I thought he would be a Gustav.
So this is Gustav, the cat that Katie played, and I played...
I don't remember what we called him.
We'll make one up right now on the spot.
Sir Cuddlesworth.
Sir... Really? I
can't remember what... He was like a mastermind.
So, of course, Katie chose the cat that has some cooking associated with it. And I asked her which cat looked like it was the most likely to commit tax fraud, and that was this one.
Yeah.
Apparently. But we also have cat with a gun, naked cat, and unnecessarily
It was really hard because I really like the little Sphinx cat because they are the ones that look the most like aliens.
This is true. So the goal here, and your setup is actually really simple. Let's start with the setup. Setup is really simple. So you've got at least 2 players. You've got your rocket ship. You have all of your little cat pieces on a board. You can arrange this however you want. The first person, the person who most recently cleaned the litter box, or a litter box, takes a cat, and they're the commander. They choose a cat. They become the commander. And then the other player, in order, in the turn order, will add their cats as the other astronauts here. And so this is your expedition. Now, depending on what these symbols mean, you'll start generally here. You roll a bunch of dice.
You need your catastrophe.
And you need a catastrophe marker. You roll your dice. The goal here is to get either the afterburner symbol, a 1, or a 2. So we have a 1, we have a 2, we have a 2, and we have 2 4s. And we have a 3. So you group them into little groups like this. This is actually super convenient. So since we don't have any 4s, these are actually set aside. We don't have any 3s, these are set aside. We have a 1, and we have 2 2s. So that means we have to use a group of dice to move the rocket ship forward to get as far as we can. These dice are not going to be used again for the rest of the expedition. This is all you have to rely on. If we use 1 die, we move 1 space. But now we can no longer use this die. If we decide to use a 2, we must use the entire group of the 2, which means now you move 4 spaces. But then you can no longer use these. If you want to use both of them, you can. But whatever you do, you must always use all the dice from within a group that you roll. So we can do that, and we can use move 5. And you always keep 1 die, regardless if you would put it back normally anyway. This is a push your luck game.
Yes.
And that's basically it. If you do roll an afterburner, and it has an afterburner symbol, you move the number of spaces indicated by that. So this would move you 1, 1, this would move you 2, and the dice change as you go along. The goal here is to land your cats on planets. So if you decide to, as the expedition...
I said that's a moon.
That's a moon.
Yes.
But say, like, if you make it to here, and I say, I'm going to disembark, I go to the furthest moon. The command order moves up 1. And you always, the people down here in order, get to decide the actions that they're going to be taking. And you want to get as far into space as you can for the most points. You want to inhabit as many moons or as many planets as possible with your little cats. And each of the cats have little symbols, things that allow them to avoid crashing, which would be, if you roll something here, it's actually terrible.
That actually
works. Let's say I roll an afterburner here. There's no afterburner symbol. We crash. You move the marker forward, and there you go. The first player to have all of their cats on the mat, or if we get 11 crashes, is when the game ends.
Yes.
And that's it.
What was I going to say? There was something else. Oh, so for instance, like in this scenario, he already landed on a moon, and I'm still there. My little spaceship.
Yep. You are in command.
Technically,
yeah.
I would crash, but it's not like you can. It's not like this little cat token is taken away for the rest of the game. It actually just goes all the way back to your air control or whatever space. What do they call it?
Command.
Center.
So the idea being here that, and there are each one of these 8 cats that you get has their own special abilities. Sometimes you can automatically treat a roll as if it was a 1. Or as if you'd rolled a 1. Sometimes you have a parachute so that you can avoid crashes if you're on a planet and land safely. Sometimes you can disembark 1 below or 1 above. So there's a bit of play with these cats, and there's a little bit of strategy involved with that. You also have these goal tokens, which are here. You have 4 goals, and they're indicated on the back. You need the first player to get 2 cats into outer space, into deep space. The first player to get 3 cats on 1 planet. The first player to have 4 cats on moons, on 4 different, 4 moons because you can't.
Yeah, 4 different moons.
Planets can have more than 1 cat occupying them, but moons will only ever have 1. Or the first person to have 4 cats on 4 different planets. For example, if you do this, you take it, this is going to be worth 5 points. When you're counting up your points, you count moons immediately, so 2, and you always go to the furthest one. 2, if somebody else comes here, they get 1 point immediately. At the end of everything, when either you've had 11 crashes, or the final expedition has been run and the 8th cat has been placed from someone's cat pool. Sounds weird. Cat pool?
Yeah, it does.
It does sound kind of weird, right? Then you also tally up from the bottom up all of the planet values as you go up. So the person with the most cats on a planet, then the second most and the third most, etc. The person at the end with the most points wins.
Yes.
That's kind of it.
It's
actually really straightforward.
Yeah, it's very straightforward.
This is the easiest explanation I think of a game that we've had. Mm-hmm. They do also offer, and I really appreciate this, the QR code to watch the video of it if you want. They also have the quick reference instructions on the back. And honestly, the instructions themselves,
they're very easy, and they have a lot of pictures.
A lot of pictures. They're actually fairly easy to understand. The artwork on this is actually really nice. The quality of this is actually quite nice, I find. But yeah, it's only the first couple pages that actually tell you how to play the game. The last couple pages is about using what we have here,
variants.
which are our variants and add additional
So-
complexity to the game.
What do these have? Yeah, these have like different.
Yeah. And so like these will have like objective markers, you have alien invasion stuff going on. Now,
Yes.
let's take a break. Okay, so your initial thoughts of this. Or I guess, it's interesting. I feel like it's weird. So we go over the rules. I feel like maybe there should be like a final thoughts.
Okay.
And then, or just thoughts in general.
Mhm.
And then we'll get into like how we feel about each of the,
Components.
yeah.
Or the metrics.
Yes. So, okay, this is a push your luck game, right? Roll dice, keep some, discard others.
Yes.
So pretty straightforward.
No, it was very easy to. Forgot to mute that. It's very easy to pick it up very quickly, especially if you're just doing the base game. I mean, so if you wanted more complexity, obviously you have like the alien invasion type stuff.
Yes.
It's not like you're dealing with a ton of different dice or something where you have to do a lot of math. I mean, it's really very much like matching. Hey,
Honestly,
the
yeah.
dice
Do they match?
Do
Yeah,
they
you're not
match
actually
what
really
you-
counting much besides a couple of dice.
Exactly. So I think that'd be good, especially if you have younger people that want to play this game. I think it's just so cute. The artistry
You just
of
love
it
it.
is
You
just
like-
so
you like the-
adorable. What it is?
No, that's fine. You like the art.
I
That's
mean,
fine.
I even like the outside packaging. It has like that soft.
It actually is
kind
kind
of
of a
touch.
soft, kind of a soft feel to it. It's kind of nice, actually. It is good packaging.
Yeah, it's nice quality.
What did this cost us? Oh, actually,
I don't know. It was a gift.
It was a gift. I bought it for you. I don't remember. It's like $40 probably.
Probably because that's what.
About that. So not anything outrageous. Setup is super easy. Okay. I mean.
I think on Amazon it's like $30. Actually.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, okay. So I did notice that the dice are a little bit large, which is
Which I
interesting.
like.
But yeah, I actually don't mind it. So okay, I guess we might as well get into the metrics here.
Okay.
So cooperative versus competitive. How cooperative is it? How competitive is this game? At the end, you do get points, and there is a winner.
There is a winner, but I think. I mean, you have your individual goals or your strategy. There are ways that you can kind of put obstacles in.
But
There's
barely.
only like one or two
There's
that
like
you
one-
can actually do that, where it's like if for some reason, like if he disembarked on something, I could remove.
You have to remove.
Yeah, like I have to remove a dice.
Die.
A die.
Right.
Why is it so
I don't know.
hard
I don't
right
know. All the time.
now?
Yeah.
I would have
There's
to
one.
remove
So
the
very
die.
specifically. So if, for example, you land towards a planet, with your rocket, and the commander decides to stay, in sequence, the other cats can get off.
Yes.
Right. And there is some strategy there in that some cats will get bonus points for landing on moons, for landing on planets. Some of these here will get you you actually start later. You can start a few points later, which is useful. So there is a hint of strategy.
I mean, a little bit, but a lot of it is luck. So when we were doing this, I feel like your first, like, probably one or two casts of the dice really determines how well your expedition is going to go.
No, it really does. It's true. If you get a bad couple rolls, you might have. I mean, we've had
Like
those
one
rolls.
time we were like afterburner. That was all you could
That's
do.
all I could do.
And so
So
it
the
would just be like
afterburner is
one,
the only.
one.
If you roll an afterburner, it's the only one that doesn't get consumed.
Yes.
So unless you roll an afterburner, and there's no afterburner.
Yes.
But so, for example, if you need an afterburner, a 1 or a 2 on these first dice or these first rolls here, and you get a 1, and that's the only thing you get, you throw out 5 dice, and now you have one die to try to get you just
to deep space.
Just not even to deep space, just to the 6th.
True.
You can't land anywhere until you hit at least the 6th mark.
Yeah.
But even with that, if these moons are occupied, you still can't land on them. Planets are an exception, but you still want to try to get as far up as you can, right? With deep space giving you 5, 7 points, or whatever. So what I think we found was it's actually really, really. We didn't get past the second planet.
The yarn
planet. We didn't get
planet.
past this planet, and I think I would have liked 2 more dice, I think, but I say that. However, with the extra secret goals that you can get, each player can get secret goals later with other alternative ways of playing. I think that actually does enhance how far you can go. Some of these allow you to, like, I think, reroll dice or to add dice to your pool.
Yes.
And so that actually does increase your chance of getting further and further. So, and it does, and I do think there's one cat in here that if you roll a 1, you get, or if you have a 1, you get to treat it as if you'd rolled a 1 somewhere. And if it's the commander, and there's a couple of other cats in here that have that, you can actually use that ability multiple times for each cat. So if there's like, if you and I both had this, I could decide which one of us use that ability, keep going, use that ability again later with the other cat. So there are ways to kind of push it, but there's also ways to see, like, if somebody else is doing really well to, you know, maybe I won't use that cat, for example. I would say it's significantly more cooperative than competitive. I would say it's a cooperative game. With like 90%.
Unless you go into it being like...
Well, there are people going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not set up inherently where it's, you know, super cutthroat or anything like that.
No. I mean, like, in the end, there's points, but so it's mostly cooperative, very significantly cooperative. Yeah. But then we get to the luck versus skill. How much of this is actually skill? Do you think? I'm going to go with
60-40.
64. That's generous. I'm going to say it's like...
70-30?
No, I would say it's like 80% luck. I think it's mostly luck. You're really just relying on these dice. You know, and there's definitely been, for example, one time when we were first playing where I think you were the commander? It doesn't really matter. Yeah, we made it to the planet here. I had 1 die remaining. We had 1, and I think I was because I was rolling. I had 1 die remaining. And I decided I'm not going to disembark. I'm going to try to push it. And you said, screw that. And you decided to disembark.
So she's like, yeah.
Yeah. And then I made it to here. And I decided to push my luck because I wanted to get to at least the second set of moons. And I crashed. Mm-hmm. But I had a cat with a parachute, so I still landed on the same planet anyway.
Yes. That happened twice.
It actually happened. That did happen twice. So, but it's possible. If you get extremely lucky, you can make it all the way into deep space. So, but I do think it's mostly luck. Right? Because that didn't really, that extra roll didn't affect anything at all. No. And if I didn't have that cat, I would have lost my cat. And in fact, I was the cat behind you for a little while.
Yes.
Actually, I think I didn't place my 8th cat, did I?
No.
Yeah, because one of my cats crashed, but you disembarked before the crash. Mm-hmm. So more luck, I think. You agree?
Yes.
A lot more luck than okay. Setup, super easy.
Yeah, it was very
crazy
fast.
Easy. Okay.
Especially when we found out, you know, because we have all these different piles of cardboard knickknacks or whatever, and then we started reading the instructions, and it's like, so get rid of half of these because these are for the expansions.
Exactly, so. Or not expansions, but like the additional content, whatever they call it. Yeah.
What would be like a DLC for a? No, that's an
expansion. An expansion would be an expansion, right? They call it
a variant. I think.
Oh yeah, I think it's actually called variants. They call it they have secret missions, explorations, alien stuff. This cat's in a car for some reason.
There's no cars
advanced game variants. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into more metrics after this break. So we talked about the quality, which I think is stellar. Stellar. That was an accident. So I talked about the quality, the setup, which was quite easy. We said it's more cooperative than competitive,
and it's more luck
than strategy. Okay, so that actually does make it, all those things that do make it, I think, really easy for children to learn.
Yes.
Setup is easy.
Or, I mean, even like family members that don't typically play board games, and maybe you have like folks over for the holidays or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be very easy for them to pick this up and not, you know, feel overwhelmed.
Yes. Well, and I think because of the way this runs, where the first player is the commander, and they make the decisions.
Yeah.
They roll the dice, they're the ones who decide when to move and if not to move, or whatever those are. Makes it easier. So you can take someone later in the turn order who's never played the game with one person who has. That are on the commander, here's how the first turn goes, and kind of being explained. So you could probably hit the ground running with this pretty easily, I think. I think the learning curve is quite easy. Is it complex? I don't know. I wouldn't say it's complex overall. I'm sure when we add these other like secret missions and other things, it'll add a little bit more depth and strategy.
A little bit of complexity.
Yes.
But, I mean, right now it's just your cat's in space, you're trying to get to moons and planets and go to the far galaxies and have fun.
Yeah, and that's it. And generally speaking, since as the commander, besides making all the rolls, you do get first say in everything. Mm-hmm. So if, for example, your cat commander did actually make it all the way to outer space, You have one or two places you land, either in the galaxy or on the comet. And the commander gets first pick. The commander always ends up on the comet, which gives you bonus points. Everyone else, if they follow you out there, gets sent to the outer space. And again, there are rewards for doing that as well. What else have we got? Learning curve, difficulty. All right, I mean, overall, did you enjoy this game?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I liked how quick it was because, sometimes we do have some where it takes so long for the setup or having to remind yourself of the intricacies of the rules. This is, it's a dice game.
Yeah.
It's a press your luck. Have fun.
Would you, how replayable is this?
I think very, because it's so luck-based.
Because it's luck-based, it's easy to set up, it's easy to break down. Even if you might enjoy much more complicated games. But
sometimes you want to shut off your brain.
It's true. But even that, but sometimes you look at a game and you're like, man, the setup, like I wanted to get back to Eldritch Horror a little bit.
Yeah, but that's a very intense setup.
It takes so much. I bought a separate product, which we will get to at some point when we're doing these video series, just to manage the cards, right? I have a big wooden case in my box just to
manage. Which you needed.
Which I did need, right? It makes it up a lot easier, but just unpacking all of that is ridiculous. Yeah. So, I love this game. This is 4.5 stars out of 5 for me.
Wow.
I think this is a great game. I think this is fantastic.
No, I love it. So 4.5. Thank you for...
Do you have a ranking for 4.5 stars? 4 stars? 5 stars?
No, I don't think quite 5.
Okay.
That's just me, because I always like...
I think I prefer...
Something has to be like truly like extra for me to be like...
That's fair. I mean...
I think it's so fun, and we did it, like, we practiced this at like 11:30 at night.
Oh, it was after that, but yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to be like fully like, I need to be ultra caffeinated and pay attention, and that just died.
That's been dead for a minute.
Oh, why did I just notice it?
Yeah.
But it's just fun. It's low stakes, high fun.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to add? Any other bits?
Yeah. I'd be interested in seeing what other games that Rebel Studio has.
Okay. That's it.
So maybe it's at the board game shop or something.
Yeah, we can check that out. And then I'm sure at some point today, if not today, then very, very soon, we'll be trying some of the variants. Because they are, again, the road's already set up, so we might as well try it. Okay, that's all I've got. I am, what did you call me, Von Snuffles?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
And I'm Gustav.
And we'll see you next time on Care Comparison.
Mlem.